it's tough seeing like parents like like some parents are like they get frustrated because they don't they're like it's like just come on
Yeah.
it's supposed to get right.
Yeah.
Like this is what we're here for. It's supposed to be just happening and it doesn't just happen.
No.
I mean that's for anything, but it doesn't just happen.
No, you don't go in and come out fixed.
Yeah, and you just see
No.
you see parents that are like really struggling. I think some of the younger girls I think needed to see their parents and I think they like the one person said she was like I just want my parents to be like upset or like with me, and the other parent was like, well, they probably are upset, they just don't want to look up.
Right.
So it was
it was good perspective, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, those meetings are good for that stuff.
Yeah.
And Adrienne, the nutritionist, is awesome, right?
Yeah, she is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
actually.
She's pretty rad.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have said her name. It's okay. It happens. I slip sometimes. I try to keep anonymity.
Well.
But whatever. It's not a big deal.
Wasn't the chick in Rocky nutritionist for animals?
Oh yeah. She was a veterinarian nutritionist.
She was a pet nutritionist, and
Exactly.
Did that work? I don't know if it worked or not.
It worked.
I think it worked. Yeah. Fire away. More questions. I probably want a press conference.
Okay, I don't know if I have any more. I think you were pretty thorough.
Was it like? How was it seeing us visually? What's that like for you?
Seeing you guys.
Yeah. I wonder that, because I know what it was like for me when the first day I walked in there, in that room, and saw everyone.
What was it like for you?
It was depressing. Like, everybody looked like, including myself, different shades of death and hollowness.
Well, in the beginning, I was like, a part of me was like, oh man, like, these girls are so young. And like, I mean,
there are a lot of young girls,
and you can really see that they're like, well, today it was a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they kind of like keep it cool and be cool, but you can see that they're struggling with with things, and that was tough to see. But then I try to look at the brighter side. They're all in a place where they're trying to get better. So it's like, no matter how sad it could be or appear, it's like they're in the right place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that crew is all people right now, because it changes up every week, are all people who want to get better, because that's not how just last week it wasn't like that.
Interesting.
It changes up. I mean, when I went in there, I wasn't sure.
So how does that affect you?
Well, I went in there like that. You know what I mean?
You did go in there like
and
that.
I was straight up all the way through about that.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not sure what I want, but I always participated. I was always engaged from the first moment I went in there, So.
And now?
Still am. But I mean, now I'm. Well, he's behind on my blog, yo, so he doesn't
First
know. All of you are way more informed about my life than my best friend, one of my best friends in the world.
If I appear like I know everything, then it won't be an interesting video now, would it?
Whatever, we know you're behind. You just showed all of us that you're behind.
I do this for a living, okay? Well,
you do what for a living?
I interview people, so me asking you questions is just,
You should read my blog. I'm not going to tell you how I am and where I am, because you are at least a week behind if you don't know.
First of all, I'm not a week behind. I was on it yesterday.
Then you should already know where I am.
I'm asking you for the people.
The people know where I am.
Jesus.
I'm on the road to recovery.
Yes.
I had an epiphany. I did. I had an epiphany. I did.
Yeah, that was a sound effect.
Do you remember? You didn't read my blog. You're behind. Whatever. We'll deal with that off camera.
It's too late now.
You want to edit? No, edit? There's no edits.
No,
it's one take. That's how I do it.
All right. So.
I don't think I have any more questions for you. Do you have any other insight?
No, I would just it was just an interesting experience that I'm glad I was a part of.
Yeah,
I'm
me
glad
too.
that that happened, and I'm curious to see if I will be invited back. I don't know
Of course you would.
because I don't know. We'll see.
Why wouldn't I?
I'm just
Because you're embarrassing. He embarrassed me. He totally didn't. He didn't embarrass me.
I'm leading into, hey, I'll be open to coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Jeez.
Well, tomorrow's my last day, Dave.
I know, which was news.
It's because you are behind on my blog, motherfucker, and you try to say you were on there this morning.
Not this morning, yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, it's not going to appear well because I realized I said something different about yesterday morning, and I perused through it because I was...
You were like, I better pretend I know what's going on with the...
No, I wanted to show up in the moment and present, which I did.
You did. You're awesome.
So, yeah.
Right, so one thing we had to do today was the supports had to write on a piece of paper. I was actually going to get yours because we read them after you guys left, and they held yours up. Somebody asked me about yours, and I mentioned yours. And when she got to yours, she held it up because she was reading just the negatives. And so I said he just wrote a question mark. Okay, so that was probably annoying for all of you. So they had to write on one side something that they think that they do well for us, right? And on the other side, they had to write something that they think they could be better at or like work on or something. So Dame was, I was like this, so Dame could lean on my back, and he was writing on my back. And he's writing the good one, and then he flips the paper, and he pauses, and I know why he's pausing. And I was like, you don't have to write anything for the bad because he is a fucking amazing support. It's true. There's not, except for being behind on my blog.
Well, obviously you can't say now I'm amazing.
So that I didn't know at the time because I didn't know that, but now I know that. But otherwise, that doesn't make you a bad support. You are. I would not be.
Well, my question mark was.
I would not be here. Not for him, and many other people, but
Yes.
Right, but you're a really big part of that. So anyway, so Dame wrote on the negative part a question mark.
Well, not because I'm perfect, and
Nobody.
I'm pretty close though.
You are.
But not because I'm perfect, but more because I wanted to go in and I wanted to hear what other people had as negative. And
Yeah, they were interesting, right?
They were definitely interesting, but a lot of them were parent. It's all right, don't worry about that. A lot of them were like parent child kind
That's
of
what
thing.
most of them there were.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but as a friend, I was curious, like if there were any similarities and things, and there were sometimes.
Yeah.
So it was good to hear other people's not I won't say negatives, but like
What their perspectives.
yeah, I guess things they could work on more. So
Yeah.
so yeah, so it was good to see like other perspectives, and then now I could probably fill out the question mark with the.
What would you put other than update yourself on my blog?
Yeah, I would steep myself in her blog, and no, I mean, like I think it being all new to me, like I just really listening was the thing because I just want to know about it and know more, like like what's proper. I don't know, etiquette, but like proper,
Right.
like
What to say and what not
Yeah,
to say. Yeah,
exactly.
were you worried about that? Did they tell you no weights, no numbers, no sizes, no... Did they tell you
No.
not to talk? They didn't?
no,
Hmm.
not like that.
I'm glad you're not... I'm glad nobody said any of that.
But even when you first told me, I was like, all right, so that changes everything. And like in my head, I'm like, that changes everything. Like, what should I be saying or not saying or asking
Right.
or not asking? Should I be forceful and wanting to know things,
Right.
or should I not? And we had a conversation in the car. Remember? in front of Starbucks in front of the REI Starbucks.
I remember.
And
Remember when I blogged about that I had someone accountable for me because I was supposed to be doing things. This is from a couple weeks ago. It was him. I was supposed to be having somebody eat with me. What?
yeah, and what did I say?
What? And I told him that more of a like, I wasn't trying to have him eat with me, but yeah. You were down.
I was down.
Remember? Yeah.
And then you weren't down.
I wasn't down.
And I was like, well,
why would I be down?
I'm going to make myself down unless you can.
I want to be down.
Unless you can show me that,
Then you don't need me to be down.
I don't need you to, yeah, exactly.
I did pretty good, right? I sent you pictures. I went to Atlantic City.
Yes.
Well, I did good because I told you, and then I went with Carl, who I knew would make me eat.
Yeah.
And he did. You too, yeah. It's not like he had to make me eat, but he just said, "What's going on with you? You having a midlife crisis?" I said, no. He's like, "What, you not eating?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, you're eating with me." And I was like, "You're right." And that was it. And then he would just, like, every however many hours be like, "Come on, we're getting food."